Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your October 2025 reading. Welcome if you're new to my channel, and welcome back if you're returning. We're going to jump straight in and take a look at your October to see what messages Spirit has for you and any guidance, what energies you'll be working with. And then at the end, we'll bring in the angels to get some messages from them. So I hope you're doing really well. Hope the eclipse season was a positive time for you. Some of us were hit pretty hard with it, depending on our astrology and our placements. But it's always there for our good, and I hope that the eclipses brought you some clarity, some transformation, and it'll be interesting to see what happens for you in the month of October, because of course we're moving into, we're in Libra season, so there can be big themes around our relationships and harmony and balance. And we have the full moon in Aries on the 6th or the 7th of the month. And with that full moon in Aries, it's the opportunity to be more assertive, to be more bold, very much about your personal empowerment. So it's an interesting mix because I've already tuned into your energy, Cancer, and I'm getting the themes around the reassessment of your relationships and boundaries, what you're willing to do, if there's equal reciprocity, where you've been saying yes to avoid conflict or trying to avoid conflict. And with this month, we have Mars moving into Scorpio. It won't allow that anymore. It's going to really push that unconscious pattern from under the surface up to your awareness, because it's wanting that dynamic, any imbalances in relationship dynamics to change. So it can be a little bit confronting, especially when we're, with our water signs that are super sensitive, super caring, very empathic, to be able to be more assertive and to change the dynamics in relationships that are out of balance. So that will be a theme, I think, for a lot of Cancerians out there, but we'll see what the tarot has to say. And let's get your recent past, present, and future. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So the 10 of Pentacles upright is about your legacy, what you're working on. And when it's in reverse, it's either unclear or there's something getting in the way. So we're going to look into that. You have the Strength. So this is your inner will and determination. The 2 of Cups and the 9 of Wands. Okay, that makes complete sense with the astrology. Now, let's ask for, what is Cancer wishing for? What are their hopes and dreams and wants and desires? Okay. Queen of Swords, and what are their fears? Page of Wands. All right, so I'm going to start talking about this as we go. So beginning your reading, you have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. And like I was saying, the 10 of Pentacles upright is your legacy, what's important to you, what you're trying to create for your future. When it's in reverse, it's stuck. There's something that's blocking it, blocking your ability to create it, to see it. And I feel for a lot of you there's a pause. And I'm sensing there's a pause, there's a waiting period. Something has been delayed, gotten in the way, and I want to find out a bit more. Could we please have a little bit more on this 10 of Pentacles so I can understand it? And that could be through family. Family commitments is what I'm getting. Maybe there's been a pause because there's been obligations and expectations of you from family, friends. And with that, you have the King of Pentacles. So that's wonderful. Because the King of Pentacles is Spirit saying that you do have the power to create what you want. It's going to happen. It's, you've got all of the skills available to you, and that's there. But I'm just getting with this 10 that was in reverse, that there's just been a delay through expectations of other people. And what I'm getting from that is really this reassessment that's happening, Cancer, because you're so beautiful and you're so giving and you're there for everyone else. But with these cards, is that getting in the way of you creating and doing what you want? We can only spread ourselves so thin. We've only got so much energy in the day. And when we spread ourselves so thin, we're not creating with any potency. And I think this is a reevaluation that's going to happen for you in the month, is not having maybe the time or the energy to put into the things that you want to create, because it's going out to the people around you that maybe want something from you, need something from you, and that's all beautiful. But I get a sense from this energy that actually it's hindering your ability to create what you want. And really, at the end of the day, we are the most important things to ourselves, first and foremost. We have to provide for ourselves, look after and nurture ourselves first, and then from that we can give and we can do things for other people. If we're not getting that from ourselves and we're giving and doing things for other people, then that's not going to be the right balance. It's never going to be fair. And I get a sense that it's stopping you from achieving what you want to achieve. It could be financial, materially. And then you have the strength card. And the strength is always about, the line in the picture is our body and our instincts, our fears, our anxieties, our fight, flight, freeze reactions. And Spirit's really saying to get into the higher state of yourself. This is her higher self that can tame the lion. And if you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious or fearful, and this can even be fears about the future, thinking that where's money going to come from, what's going to happen, that we need to, this card's always a reminder to calm our nervous system, to reassure and soothe ourselves, to know that our higher self can tell us that everything is going to be okay. This is the direction we're going to take. But you might find that during the month, if you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed, this will be really important. Our body, holds all those stores of memories and gets really afraid and stressed. And then you have the 2 of Cups with the 9 of Wands. And this is where we start to see boundaries. These are my 2 cards of boundaries. The 2 of Cups is your connection to other people. So it could be your romantic relationships, your friendships, your family. And the 9 to me is, there's two parts of the 9 of Wands. It's where we have overstretched ourselves and we've done so much and gone through a lot and worked really hard, and now we're feeling worn down by it. And it's also the boundaries, because both of those needs to take place. So if we're tired, we need to have really good boundaries. We need to start saying no and not just pushing and pushing and pushing, because he's worn out. And what he needs most is to take a breath and take a moment and realize he doesn't need to push to get everything done. He doesn't need to race to get to the 10 right now. He can take a break. He can rest. He can start saying no to the things that he doesn't want to do, to allow himself to, get the balance right. And because it's with the 2, that's very much in your relationships. We don't need to be perfect. We don't need to get everything done. And I think what I'm getting from this is, really reassessing, are you doing things because it's duty and obligation and that you think that that's your role and responsibility? Or are you doing them because you're giving from a full cup and it feels right? There's a huge, huge difference. And so with these, what I'm getting is, doing some inner work and really self-reflecting and working out, well, are these just patterns from my childhood where I have to be the good girl and I have to do everything for everyone and that's my role and responsibility? And is that appropriate now? Is it neglecting myself, and am I feeling worn out? Because that's never going to be the right balance. And as I was saying earlier, I think this is a time of shedding the old patterns so that you can be more authentic and honest with what you're deciding to do in your relationships. And that's just going to feel so much better, Cancer. It'll feel so much better. And you won't be so worn out. And I'm getting, because of the Pentacles earlier in the reading, that is going to help you to flourish and be more successful at what you're doing. Now, in your position of what you want, you have the Queen of Swords, and this is the wanting to have more clarity, more clarity on what you want, what you're doing. It could be in any area of life, and I think that's why this recharge is needed. A reassessment this month for you in October. To pause, take a breath, reassessing. I think you'll be reassessing your relationship dynamics, and I think you'll be reassessing what actually you want to do to become more clear. And that can take a little bit of effort and time. So just sitting with yourself and realizing, the Queen of Swords is the part that cuts out the BS, cuts out the things that aren't that important and focuses on what is. And then you get a lot of clarity, you can move forward clearly. And that's what you'll be really wanting this month, is the clarity. And so that will come from stilling your mind and I think taking the time, really looking within. And I'm going to ask for some more messages about that, actually. And this is your fear, the Page of Wands, and that's not, and the fear with that is not being able to take the risk. Take the risk and step out there and take a chance, put yourself out there and start something new. So that could be the fear that you've got, that you can't do that. And so let's find out a little bit more. Spirit, can we please have some guidance for Cancer? So the guidance is the 8 of Cups. So walking away, finding something that fulfills you. And the 5 of Wands and the Moon. Okay. So these cards are really telling me that Spirit wants you to know to follow your inspiration, follow your heart, that, it's really about trusting yourself, Cancer, knowing that you have everything available to you, that you're more than capable. Don't look at the competition. Don't look at what everyone else is doing. The Moon is telling me that underneath the surface, there is still some insecurities, that thinking that other people do it better than you, that it's a struggle, looking at the competition, and that could be stopping you from really moving on to something that could be more fulfilling. So it's time to let that go. And for most of our readings, there's big themes about reinvention, reinventing yourself, your self-image, and I think mostly for you, Cancer, it's letting go of this idea of competition, of not being good enough. But your biggest themes for this month are the dynamics in your relationships and boundaries, because I think you're pretty worn out by it all, and getting clarity with the Queen. So it's time to really cut out the things that are not working for you. The excess is what I'm getting. So the excess work that doesn't bring anything back in, the things that aren't working for you, the things that aren't aligned for you, but it's really about getting clarity. And can we please have the incoming energies? Great. And so Spirit's just reassuring you that you have every potential and possibility. The page of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles is about appreciation, gratitude, seeing that you have opportunities. It's really staying in a state of abundance. So keep your eye on the prize, what you want to create. Let go of the things that are getting in your way, that are draining your energy, that are taking your time, that are unbalanced, and focus on what you want to create. Stay in that state of abundance and appreciation of everything that you have, and gratitude, because that high energy will be really helpful in being able to create your 10 of Pentacles, because there's so much potential here. So much potential with your creation, and there's just some things to work through to help you get there. So let's call in the angels. Can we please have an angel message for Cancer? That was quick. And we'll get one more. Can we please have an angel message for Cancer? For the beautiful Cancer for the month of October, please. All right. Your first angel message is Counselor. So Cancer, everyone knows this about Cancer. You're a natural counsellor. People come to you to feel your warmth, to feel your kindness, and to feel your love. But you also have a lot of wisdom. And don't forget that. That's so valuable. It's really helpful to the ones around you and in your work. But of course, it's about your boundaries too, isn't it? Your boundaries in, are you just being a shoulder to cry on for everyone and that's draining you? Or is it helping you in your work and what you're trying to create? And then you have watermelon, tourmaline, and stress reduction. And we can see that from your 9 of Wands, that this is the time to take a breath. That's the message I keep getting for you, Cancer. Take a breath, take a pause. There's no rush to get to the finish line. This is the time to get centered again, get clear on what your intentions are, what you want. Focus on reducing your stress, because life is not worth living if we are in stress all the time. It doesn't matter what we're doing. Your peace of mind and the peace in your heart is the most important thing, and everything will flow from that. So take the time for stress reduction and realize that that's really important for your manifestations this month. So the angel's giving you full permission, full permission to relax and take time out of your busy schedule to recharge and revive. Okay. So, Cancer, that is your messages for the month of October. I really hope that helps you through the month. I'm sending you my love, light, and blessings. Thank you for subscribes, likes, and comments. They really do help my channel more than you'd know. And I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.